it's got a
you
couple.
guys missed everything. You guys were recording.
I know.
You
Now
so missed
YouTube's
out.
going to be
Oh
fucked.
my god.
So I just got a couple of announcements. So next week we got Al Beltran. You know Al?
Yeah.
Okay. The guy who used to run Sailfish, Al Beltran, he's coming on next week. And then, did you see I got Slam and Sean coming on?
I did see that.
So in April, we got Slam and Sean coming on. Super cool guy. I talked to him like 2 weeks ago maybe. And when Lauren was on here, his brother, I guess he knows Lauren. And Sean's brother saw the podcast with Lauren on it. And I was like, just on the podcast, happened to say, dude, if I could get Slam and Sean on here, that'd be great. And then Slam and Sean's brother saw it, told him, and he said he'd do it.
Awesome.
So I called him, talked to him for a minute. I've never seen that guy. You ever seen him?
I don't think so.
You know his CDs, right?
Yeah, of course.
Never seen him, dude. Never seen him. Never heard him. Never heard him talk. I don't know anything about him. He doesn't DJ anymore. He hasn't DJed for a long time. And now he's the, some head lender at a bank or something like that. Like some high up position. So it should be interesting. Check that out. The event page is on the Facebook page. So that should be some interesting stuff. And then that's pretty much it for right now. Announcements. What do you guys got coming up? You got shows
Sunshine
coming
State
up.
of Base is the 21st, and then we have the thing Jeremy Jenkins is doing the following weekend here in Fort Pierce.
Yeah, for the dance thing.
Yeah, the music festival.
What is that called? Lindsay School of Dance, right? Is that what it is?
I'm
something
not sure.
Art something. I forget what it is, but Sunshine State of Base. That's coming up.
Yeah, and then the
next
following week we'll be in Fort Pierce as well.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I didn't know that was even going on, and then I saw the event page or something. So yeah, check that out. Is that on you guys' AudioBotz page?
Yeah,
okay.
it's on
So check the AudioBotz page. So Sunshine State of Base, we'll get into that. So what's up, man? What have you been doing?
Cooking.
I saw. Okay, so if you don't know, Chris has a catering company. Fucking shout out to your catering company, dude. What is it?
It's Addie's Catering. We, any scale parties we can do. We can do, private dinners for 2 and 5,000, whatever you want.
You did a thing for 100, cook for 100 people, right? What was
that?
Yeah,
it was for 300. I was commissioned to cook pork butts for another company, basically. So I cooked 12 pork butts total, and which is about 110 pounds or something like that.
Wow. How do you cook that much for that many people?
How
long does that shit take?
It takes anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, but I have a giant smoker. I have a Lang 60 Deluxe, which has 15 cubic feet of cooking space, and it's got 2 racks.
Did I see that?
You've seen it.
Okay.
If you've been by recently, you've seen it, or if you've seen me at any of our events. But so I have a giant smoker.
Yeah,
And in fact, we're doing Red's Kitchen. I don't know if you guys know him. He's a good guy. He runs a food truck, and he and I are actually going to be doing a pig roast next Thursday as well in Okeechobee. It's going to be in Okeechobee.
Okay.
I don't even know where the address is. It was him, so I'm going to throw 2 60-pound hogs on. Her name is Bernadette, my smoker. So. Okay. But yeah, cooking. I just got commissioned to cook corned beef cabbage for the Port St. Lucie St. Patrick's Day thing. So if you guys are over there weekend, you'll get Addie's Catering's corned beef. So go.
Wow, if they're still gonna have that, bitch, we'll see.
I mean, I'm cooking a lot.
How did your crawfish boil go?
That was amazing. Yeah, we had a really nice turnout. The food was delicious. I made homemade andouille for that.
Dude, what do you think of crawfish?
I love them, dude.
Really?
Yeah, like it's my favorite crustacean, dude. Like,
Is it?
Yeah, dude. Like, there's so much more flavor because first of all, they're freshwater, so they got a little funk to them. They literally are mud bugs. You know what I mean? Like, they're supposed to be salty and like kind of weird, but they're delicious. To me, they're packed with flavor.
Did I ever tell you when I went to Louisiana and I saw where they raised the crayfish?
Was that enough for you? You're like, I'm out.
Well,
I was
okay.
like, that was for hot dogs. That was me for years. Like, I knew how they're made. I was like, I'm not eating those.
So
I eat them now. I do.
I mean, the mud bug thing, it doesn't really bother me, but they're farmed in rice paddy fields, right, or rice fields. So I got to see it. Like, I went to Louisiana. I went to the backwoods of Louisiana. This place called Bunkie, which literally the population's 5,000 people.
Bunkie.
So there's one restaurant. And like it's as small as you can imagine.
And they literally just pull the crawfish out of the mud and bring
everywhere.
Them up the table.
I didn't know. So we're driving through there, and it was my first experience ever talking to somebody from Louisiana where I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Oh yeah, I've had that a couple times.
So I was blown away by that first of all, and then
the guy the crawfish for mine, Kyle LeBlanc, was coon ass, man.
Coon ass. I didn't know that word.
Oh, you need to make sure you follow my instructions. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? He was fun.
Like
he's a great guy too. Kyle LeBlanc crawfish. If you need some, he's got a great price. So you have to go pick him up from the airport if you can get him.
Super nice people, man. I like
They're kind of like me. They like to feed people. They want to hug
Yeah,
people.
it's that Southern
what I mean?
hospitality shit for. I like what's the Louis? There's famous shit in Louisiana. It's there's crawfish, something that starts with a B, some crispy
Boudin?
shit. Yeah, boudin.
Boudin
Yeah.
is
Is that the sausage?
yeah, it's an organ meat sausage essentially. But
I like that. That was good.
Yeah, they pack it with a bunch of peppers
And there's
all this
something
flavor.
crispy that they make.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff, man.
I forget
Etouffee, which means smothered, is like a Cajun kind of mix up, and it's basically brown roux.
Crackling.
Oh well, yeah.
Is
Well,
that-
that's pork skins, chicharrones.
Okay.
Everybody makes those.
Not the chips though.
Like the little strips. So like the little strips
Yeah,
with
they're
like
like-
hard pieces
yeah,
instead.
yeah, that,
So
okay.
it's the same thing. The only difference is like when you're making chicharrones or pork rinds, you dry the fat out, the skin, you dry it out completely.
Right,
Like, I
okay.
cut it up into like little pieces that end up being like this small.
That's what I was.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
puffs
like
to
it's
like that. So what they do is they don't
okay.
dry it out. They just
Okay.
take it and cut it in strips and fry it straight up.
Oh, okay.
So it's more like it's actually more like beef jerky, something you kind of chew on.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of. It's
Yeah.
definitely not like the chips.
And then etouffee and gumbo. Gumbo actually is all the way from Africa because gumbo is the African word for okra. And slaves cut the seeds in their hair when they was shipped over here because they didn't know if they were gonna have something to eat.
Oh,
So
shit.
they brought
I do
something
like
they knew they were
okra.
gonna
I do
eat,
like
so
okra.
they brought that with them. They brought that. They brought the banjo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A bunch of things that.
So when I was
which is funny, being that the way the world has turned out.
right, yeah, for real, I didn't know that about the banjo.
Yeah, that's an African instrument.
I did not know that.
And it only
Damn.
had 4 strings until it got to America, and they added that extra G string, which allowed you to change keys real quick.
Okay.
So you can match the mandolin player now. But yeah,
No
that's
shit.
a slave instrument.
That's our lesson right there, man. Motherfucking banjo came from Africa. I didn't
Yes,
fucking
it
know that. That's
Yeah.
the lesson of the show. So when I was there, I saw all these fucking they're big ass mud holes, dude. You know, and like some of them were
And,
drained.
some
of
of
them
the people you
had,
get from are wild caught too, and they just set traps out in rivers and lakes and
Yeah.
ponds.
Yeah.
But it's all the same.
But dude, these fields are everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's
as
fucking
the crawfish are raised and they do their thing, they're fertilizing the water as well. So
Yeah.
it's like a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and I guess it's like a seasonal thing too. They have different seasons for when they harvest them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
and
I was never,
and there's laws too, like national laws, like it's governed where they come from certain regions and stuff, like
Okay.
to keep the farming fair. So the crawfish are really involved, as it
Yeah.
turns out,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
kind of why they're expensive. And well, the other thing is like they're shipped live, so they've got to be overnighted. The best way to do it is on an airplane, of course. So, like I said, for the first time ever, I had to go to like the cargo area of an airline and go pick
Right.
up my crawfish. It was
Where'd you
awesome.
get 'em?
Southwest Airlines is where I picked them up, and Kyle LeBlanc Crawfish. was them.
in West Palm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Damn, that's okay. I didn't know all that.
And it was I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. Like it's not. It's like totally like off the beaten path,
Right.
and like, but
Yeah.
it was all right. It was fun. It was a good experience.
Dude,
and
there's
we're gonna do it next year. I'm actually hoping to keep it going, and eventually maybe it be a public thing that we,
I mean, is there one of those around here?
not really.
Dude, that's a good idea.
Put it under wraps.
Well, fucking A, dude. It's too late now. Now everybody's gonna know about
Well,
that
I already
shit.
did it, so I did it first.
That's
Screw
cool,
you all.
though.
But that's the goal, actually.
I'm not a big fan of them, dude. They're too fucking small, dude.
Well, the thing is, if we were going to do an event like that, there'd be other vendors. There'd be
No,
other
I
stuff.
know that. I'm
me,
just saying,
you know what
like,
I mean?
as my personal prep, dude. They're
Well,
like this fucking.
But
big,
you eat
dude.
100 of them,
That's
dude.
what I'm saying. I don't want to eat 100 fucking
But you-
crawfish,
see,
dude. Like, I don't know, man.
See, it's
Do you
funny
suck the
'cause it's-
brains out?
Yeah,
dude. And I'm
it's-
not down
listen,
with that.
but it's like this huge camaraderie thing, dude. Like Alan Hooker came over, and me and a couple other Tim and everybody.
No.
We sat down, dude. We just housed them, and you sit there and you giggle, and you say stupid shit,
Yeah.
and you go for a piece of corn, and we did like clams and a little bit of shrimp.
Right, and you put it out on a fucking table,
Yeah,
and then the
if you
flies
look on
come
my
in,
Facebook, you
dude.
see the
Yeah,
picture, like-
yeah. I'm just not down with.
It was a super windy day, so
Yeah.
there were no flies.
Oh, okay,
it
that's
lucked
cool.
out. It was a
Yeah,
great event.
yeah.
Yeah, we had no flies.
No, a cool event. I'm
Tim
just
Tim
not-
hooked us up with some beers, and I tell you what, man, he brought some beers over that those guys are making,
Yeah.
sailfish, that were primo.
Oh yeah, dude. I had one
Primo.
called.
They had this Dixie Cream influenced stout they
I
made.
didn't have that one.
Dude, like it goes down like a stout, like the darkness, the bitterness, but on the
Right.
backside is just like you ate a Dixie Cream glaze.
Did you have the Stargazer?
I didn't have the Stargazer. I
Did he
had
bring it?
no. He brought the hoppy IPA.
Sunrise.
No, it's a new one. I should know the name.
Okay. I don't know, but I had the Stargazer.
But anyway, dude, I'll try that next. Like those beers were amazing.
The
like,
Stargazer the Stargazer comes in a bottle. It looks like a champagne bottle,
Okay.
and it's like a champagne-y beer.
That's cool.
It's light, has a lot of bubbles in it.
I'll have to try it.
It's like a good daytime drinking.
Well, I
beer.
know.
It's
Well,
good.
Tim was telling me a little bit. Like they've added a centrifuge to their operations, so now they're filtering a lot better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. They're in.
Their
have you
beers-
been over there recently?
I haven't.
So you know, you've been there since they moved over here, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, so you know they had like.
I was here opening weekend. You know me.
Okay.
I'm Mr. Fort Pierce.
Yeah. Right. They had the 3 or 4 big bats, right?
Yeah.
Now they have like those plus a bunch of small bats in the front,
So-
and they
and
bought
so-
new ones in the
Nice.
back. So the
So
whole fucking place
it's
is filled
full.
with big bats
Awesome,
now. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they're killing it in the beer.
Yeah.
It's there in Publix and everything like that. So that's cool, man. I'm glad that the
Yeah, Fort
profit
Pierce
thing was
is
good.
legit. Dude,
It is, dude.
If someone told you 10 years ago that there was a world-class steakhouse in Fort Pierce, would you have believed
Dude,
them?
have you been to that steakhouse?
Of course. Me and Amanda went there and spent a fortune.
What do you think of it?
We loved it. We ate everything. We had an appetizer. We both had a salad and a soup. We
Do you think
both
it's
had
worth
steaks.
the money?
I mean, for what they're serving and the experience and the wait staff and everything else, I say yes, man. But I'm happy to spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
Dude, I often spend like just less than that, and like, why did we go out?
Right. No, I get that.
You know, like,
I'm
and
all about-
I've actually ruined Amanda. Amanda can't even go to a restaurant. She's like, you could have cooked this at home.
Right.
It would have saved us a
Yeah,
shitload of
that's
money, and it
cool.
would have been so
That's
much
cool.
better than what we just ate here. You know.
Right.
But that place is legit. It is expensive, but we actually went there as a celebration.
Right.
We decided we were going there for celebration.
Right.
We knew we were going to spend money. We dropped about $300.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, dude,
But
that's cool.
We were happy to do it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No,
we
that's
wanted the whole
totally
experience.
cool.
Now had something been like, what the hell, man? You know, but it wasn't. Like,
I'm curious. I was just curious from a perspective of somebody who cooks and knows a lot more about food than me. Like, dude, I didn't feel like what I got was worth the money that I spent. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't mind blowing money at a restaurant. Dude.
Right,
If
right.
I'm going out, dude,
Let's do it, right.
Dude, fuck it. I don't give a shit. We
Yeah.
bought a bottle of wine. Like, we were getting down.
The only thing I would say that was negative, but I didn't ruin my meal, was they have a Chateaubriand on the menu, and Chateaubriand is not a cut. People believe that it's a cut of beef. Like, they believe that, so when you cut a beef tenderloin, like filet mignon, when you cut the whole thing, there's this extra little piece that's on the backside of the muscle. It's actually what attaches to the shoulder here.
Okay.
So people believe that cut is the Chateaubriand.
Okay.
And it's not. It's actually a preparation. Typically, they use that
okay,
cut because they have nothing else to do with it. And you know, in a restaurant where they were cutting them every day, they would have the Chateaubriand to sell to one couple. They wouldn't tell anyone else about it. And so they just literally gave us that cut, grilled, and then whatever sauce we asked for. That isn't technically a Chateaubriand.
Okay.
It was still delicious.
Right. See, my thing was, so I ordered the filet mignon, right?
Filet mignon,
I
yeah.
know. And
Which is, it just means cut of beef. It's just, yeah.
it was good.
It's the tenderloin.
It was good, but, you know, I hope Lindsay's watching. I don't know if she is. So, we ordered the same thing, dude. I get a piece that's probably like this big, right? Lindsay's is like twice the fucking size of mine. And we literally ordered the same thing. And hers is thick.
That's
and I'm
weird.
just like, I don't know, man. It was good, but dude, for the amount of money,
I ordered a
and we're
ribeye.
talking about the Bradford. For people
I don't
who
like
know.
I don't like filet. I mean, I'll eat filet. It's not like I don't like it. It's good.
Right.
Like, you can't deny it's
But
good.
there's better
But
stuff.
I'd rather have a ribeye. So
Right.
I had the ribeye.
I mean,
and-
inside, dude, the service was great. The inside's nice, dude. They only fit about 50 people in that
Yeah,
bitch. Like,
yeah.
dude, I like that. But you know what? Have you been to Rooster in the Garden?
Yep, we went there too.
So we just went to Rooster in the Garden, dude, and I enjoyed that more.
Yeah, we
was
had a
good.
great meal there. Yeah.
We had scallops and shit like that. So, all right, so we'll fucking.
I mean, it's the same people. They, you know,
No, I know,
They are
yeah,
both.
no, I know it is.
Well, and the
I know
one
it
thing they
is.
get, so like Adams Ranch sells beef to everyone, but they get exclusive beef, so they're getting the best of the best.
Right,
Everything
right.
they're pulling that's prime or select or whatever is going straight to this restaurant.
Right.
That alone to me is worth something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, no, I got, dude, seriously. I'm
And maybe
all
go
about
again.
that.
You know what I mean? Someone had an off day.
Yeah.
Maybe they grabbed the wrong steak.
Yeah.
You know, we're chefs. We're not, robots.
Right, yeah. It was packed too, dude. There wasn't one fucking seat in that bitch. So, all right, well, so you guys, thanks for joining in. We're just fucking talking shit. We don't really know anything about anything. We're just talking shit. So,
But always learning.
yeah. So let's talk about, so Ultra got canceled.
Yeah.
We're going to touch on the coronavirus
COVID-19.
for a little bit. So, I have my opinions about it. Chris got his things about it, but we're going to talk about it in the context of like these parties that are happening and shit.
And
So-
how shitty that Ultra is not going to give people their money back.
Yeah, dude, Ultra, if you don't know, it's
Fuck you.
number one is canceled, and number
Fuck
two,
you.
you're not getting a refund. You can go for the next 2 years, or one of the next 2 years. You can go in 2021
So
or
you get a
2022.
replacement. So I guess that's something. But
And-
man,
And they'll give you some discounts on like merchandise.
Ultra
and
used
shit
to be
like
a thing
that.
on the beach that included like Dynamix 2 and Jackal and Hyde. And
I know.
what
Dude,
the fuck happened, dude?
I was thinking about making a shirt that said "Bring the brakes back to Bayfront." which is
Yeah,
where it's
yes,
at. Yeah,
yes.
dude.
Dude,
Good
yeah,
idea,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And then
Good
the
idea.
your Mixed Days logo on the back.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because I didn't look.
I know a T-shirt guy, so.
Yeah, right. I know. I gotta get your T-shirts. I don't know if there was any breaks.
That's my T-shirt guy.
Yeah, if you need T-shirts, I get
Yeah.
T-shirts made. Hit me up. Fucking mostly dry fit stuff. Got some for Chris. Got some for a bunch of
Those
people.
shirts, white was always a bad color. I like it because that is supposed to be our color. The chef, if you don't know, the chefs are supposed to wear white because it's supposed to be an example of how clean their kitchen is.
I didn't know that.
That's not the way things work anymore. We're
no
sloppy. We
fucking
get
idea.
messy.
I've
I
never
make
heard that
barbecue.
before.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the whole idea. The reason
get
that in a true Italian kitchen, the head chef would be white and white. You'd have white pants and a white coat, and the tallest
did not know
the
that.
tallest hat in the kitchen, so that you could spot the chef when you
No
walked in.
shit.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's all
like
about.
having you on. I learned so much just from talking to you, dude. I had no idea. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, that's battalion.
awesome.
That goes like through the entire rank system.
Okay.
And then the hats go down each.
Oh shit.
And that's not the way it really works. Well, that was the idea, but the chef never touched anything. The chef,
Right.
the reason the chef could go out staunch white and be starched and clean is because he wasn't doing anything.
Right.
They were doing it all.
Right.
I mean, he did stuff. He was doing the paperwork and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. Which
Yeah,
is funny
running the
because
show.
what's funny because my entire career, once you get to the point that you're doing the paperwork, they just fire you.
Right.
They're like,
Oh.
well, we don't need you anymore.
Right.
Well, no, you do need me. I did all the rest of this that you guys don't know
Right.
about because I did keep that under my hat.
I remember you telling me about
That was
stuff
my
like
experience
that.
the whole
Setting up
time. It was like,
kitchens and then
yeah, like here
fucking
we
away
go.
you
Oh,
dude.
well, Chris trained everybody. What the fuck are we paying him so much money for?
Yeah.
You know?
And, not related to this, but you just made me think of something. Did you watch the podcast that we did with Chad Romano in Exotic East Kid?
I didn't.
Dude, he was in drum corps.
Yeah, I actually know that because he had a Blue Devils. He had a Blue Devils ring as his profile picture. I tried to reach out because we went to the finals last year, and I actually reached out and was, hey man, I tried to reach out to that DCA because I marched Magic in 1997.
And Chad might be in there right now. He was in there. Yeah, what's
if
up,
you're
Chad?
listening, Chad?
Because we were talking about the whole. Well, he had watched yours, and we were talking about it on the podcast. So yeah, he was talking about how Orlando Magic was like one of the fucking hardest ones.
We were it was no joke. I mean, when I tried out, there were 300 kids there. There were 300 kids. There's only 120 back then. There were only 126 members only, and there were 70 horn players that were coming back.
Wow,
300
okay.
people, and
Wow.
I managed as a rookie to get a lead spot.
Wow.
I was number 6. I was the last lead.
Damn.
Number 6 was my drill number.
Yeah.
And I was the very last lead.
Wow, that's awesome. So I just wanted to let you know about that because
I tried to reach out to him as well for that same thing because, like I said, he had a Blue Devils ring on his.
I didn't know that's what it was. I know.
I spotted it immediately,
Yeah.
and it was so weird because I had just dove deep into it, and then I just happened to notice this guy was also a drum corps guy.
Yeah,
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's nice to see someone who did that who's doing this kind of music too.
Yeah,
he
was a drummer. I think he said he was a drummer. Yeah. So we'll talk about coronavirus for a minute. So fucking Ultra canceled.
Oh yeah.
So hold on. So I just want to give everybody some information real quick. Well, today Joe Rogan had this guy named Michael Osterholm on his podcast. And if you don't listen to Joe Rogan, you should definitely do. He's got a lot of fucking smart people on there. This guy is the director of the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy in Minnesota. Okay, so
a lot of gobbledygook.
So the good thing about Joe Rogan, dude, is that his podcasts are like 3 hours. This guy's is like an hour and a half, and it's an hour and a half of talking about this shit. Which right now, and as far as like the media and all that stuff, there's no long form conversations about it because they just don't do it that way.
Well, I mean, the media has been reduced to headline sensationalism.
Right.
I mean, the last 10 years with social media and everything else, that there is no real news. Anymore.
Yeah. No, dude.
It's
surface.
It's what can
Bait,
we do to spin them up?
shit,
and dude, they're eating it up because every time everyone runs out of the store and buys all the alcohol on fucking earth, they're like, "Ha we did it!"
Right.
So they don't care if the information's wrong.
Yeah.
They don't care. They made everyone go buy all the toilet paper.
Right.
There are other ways to wipe your ass. You can use water. You can. There's ways.
But
toilet paper.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to know some real shit about
what's going on,
dude, go listen to the
You did educate me before I got here.
Yeah.
I'm glad we chatted a little bit before we started.
Just to give somebody some stats before we start talking about the parties and shit. So this came directly from this guy's mouth. This is not me making this shit
his
up.
center. This is based on the research that they've done.
Right.
And science.
Right. With the data that they have right now. Okay. So first of all, just so everybody knows, this thing is just getting started. Like literally just getting, like the party just got started, right? If you think about Italy, so on February 27th, dude,
Fabio F873, he
canceled his shit. I know, and somebody else
he's a buddy
did too.
of mine.
Yeah. So in February 27th, I was talking to Lindsay about
Hi,
this
if you
last
listen
night.
tomorrow.
Right.
Fabio.
I hope he does.
He said he might tune in tomorrow.
Oh, true that. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I've got some of his shit. One of his fucking songs
he just
got flagged.
sent me some. I haven't even listened to it yet. Yeah. He's a great dude, man.
Dude, I like his music.
Well, he's got one of the best attitudes of anybody you'll ever meet, man. He's just like, let's do it, He had a couple shows and he would go out of his way to catch like 15 minutes of our set and then run back to his other show.
That's cool.
He's a really cool dude.
I played one of his tracks on the stream and it got flagged.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? This guy?
He's gangster,
like,
man.
Yeah, I guess so. It's
and he's actually an all hardware guy, which is impressive. So anyway, back to COVID-19.
So anyway, so just so everybody remembers, February 27th, Italy was like, hey, you guys are overblowing this shit. You're affecting our tourism and our economy and all this shit. And now the whole motherfucking country is closed. That was February 27th. So like 2 weeks ago, basically, right? They were saying that
they weren't even really talking about it really bad.
They were saying that the media was saying it was way overblown. They're like, no, you can still come to Italy, everything's fine, you know. And now the whole fucking country shut down. So that gives you an idea of how fast it's spreading. Okay, so first of all, this is just the beginning, and like I said, all this shit comes from this guy who I just listened to before the podcast. None of this is my information. Everybody who gets it, you're infectious or contagious before you're sick.
That's most.
Dude, viruses.
That's most
how
viruses.
awesome is that though? If you're an organism, and you're trying to spread your shit.
Think about some of the best parasites. Like I don't know what it's called, but that little parasite that attacks snails and goes up and does that little thing to make birds eat them, so he can be pooped out and Dude,
it's amazing what they do.
Those things. Well, it's funny because have you ever seen the movie Evolution, or is that what it's called? With this David Duchovny. It's like the silly comedy Evolve.
Oh yeah. With the smiley faces.
Sometimes the simplest organism is the strongest. Remember in the end, it was the giant flatulating.
I don't remember
amoeba.
that part.
Well, at the end, the big monster was this giant flatulating amoeba, and he was like, oh, in evolution, often the most simple creature is the strongest, and because they were forcing evolution with that thing.
I gotta watch it again.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. So people are spreading this shit before they even know they have symptoms. This guy says that it's 10 to 15, or the rate of infection or rate of spread is going to be 10 to 15 times worse than the seasonal flu. So I'm not saying anything.
Wash your hands.
Not saying anything about the president, but do not listen to that guy.
Yeah, that guy's an idiot.
Do not listen to him. Whether you like him or not, dude. We're not going to get into the political situation. Do not listen to him because what he is saying is not right. So he is not giving us correct information about how this thing is spreading.
He hasn't given.
I know. I'm just saying. If people are thinking that he's putting real information,
we're all friends here.
He's not. Yeah. So this other guy said there could be up to 48 million hospitalizations.
Which is going to be the real problem.
Okay. So
our healthcare system is already a joke.
Right.
This is going to
flatline. So for people who do not who aren't understanding what the real problem is here, the real problem is not that it's going to kill everybody. Like a lot of people think that they're like, oh,
everyone's going to get sick.
Okay, so imagine this. Imagine if at your motherfucking Walmart, everybody got the flu at the same time. What would happen to that Walmart? It would close down, dude. There'd be nobody to work it. What if that happens to Publix? What if it happens to...
Well, I go everywhere, too. I'm a caterer, and I do luncheons almost every day.
Dude, what if it happens to all the businesses that you're doing catering for, right? They're going to cancel that shit.
Well, we thought of it, too. We had a wedding over the weekend. That's 100 people all in one place.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
So... imagine if, St. Lucie Battery Tire.
It's a wedding, so some people came from out of town.
Exactly,
Some may have come from out of state.
Exactly. So all these businesses that have... I worked in an office for 13 years. The office right here that I worked in had over 60 people in it. The building had 100 or 200 in it. We're all in the same building.
All it took is one person that touched one handle... And you not washing your hands at one time, and 30 others, and now they're all taking it to their 4 kids.
Exactly. So
I get how it works.
I
do think the media is not being responsible about the reporting. I do think the hysteria they're creating isn't necessarily a positive thing. I often wonder if they're just testing to see when shit really does hit the fan.
Yeah. So
I saw a meme today. It was like the aliens were like, "This is why we don't tell you we exist."
Right.
Because the way you guys panic about stupid shit.
Right. And it's like this guy that's on Joe Rogan. He's like,
why
it's
don't
not about panic.
Why don't you have hand sanitizer? Why don't you have soap? Why don't you have a little stockpile of toilet paper? Aren't we all adults here? You know what I mean?
And he was saying the nation, one of the big problems with this thing is that we don't stockpile supplies as a nation. We're
right. We stockpile as ourselves. Well, that's the biggest problem. And that's actually the entire division in politics right now. It's I instead of we.
Right,
and only 40% of us are we, and everyone else is I. And you're right. If we could think of it more collectively, why isn't there set aside hurricane shelters for us that just have all that shit ready to go?
Because the
hurricanes are coming.
From a probability perspective and stuff like that, inventory is one of your biggest costs,
Right.
especially if you're holding a lot
And
of
all
it.
that potable stuff, like things that you can keep forever. You can keep water forever. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like there should just be a place for that collectively for us all.
So this guy was equating it to like the Defense Department. He's like, you don't build an aircraft carrier when you go to war.
Right. You build it when you're not.
He's
at
like,
war.
if you think about how much money we spend on the military in preparation, I know we don't have to get into it, but it's a good example. In preparation for war, like if we would spend a fraction of that in preparation for something like this, we would be prepared.
We'll leave it right. I mean, just a defense spending thing. If we spent a third of what we spent,
Oh yeah, dude, trust me, I know. I don't want to
third.
I know.
We would still spend more than every other country on earth.
I know.
A
know.
third.
No, I know, dude.
And we can't afford healthcare though.
I know. I'm aware.
That's socialism, don't you know?
That's part of the problem is that we're not thinking of these things, and now look at what's happened. He's like, imagine if we had thought about this just a little bit, how much more prepared we would be.
Right, and imagine, like imagine they had like the hurricane. Every hurricane season, they're like, go get your things together, get your batteries. Why is there a little kit that has a mask and all the
Everything
things you need,
dude?
And
it's
little
just
thing,
there.
and it could go in your hurricane kit if
Yeah.
you're a Floridian. You know, like.
So we have a supply problem with masks and apparently IV bags.
Only because all of a sudden everybody wants these things.
So that's one of the problems.
No one wanted these in H1N1. This didn't happen in H1N1. This didn't happen with SARS. Right. This didn't happen with the avian flu. H1N1 is swine flu. It didn't happen with the avian flu.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this thing keeps happening, and they still do this media plunge where they're not talking about facts. They're just creating hysteria.
Right. So there is a lot of hysteria, but this thing is definitely happening, and it's...
So 48 million people in America are going to contract the disease. According to one guy's study, I will say that.
No, this isn't his study. This is his organization's...
yeah, but this is based on... So, you ever played one of those games that you have to fix a plague or cause a plague? Like, there's little handheld games.
No.
That's what they're doing. They're extrapolating data that confirms.
I mean, well...
So, you'd have to compare this to, 4 other ones.
Okay,
and then they'd all have to be peer-reviewed as well. Because it still is just one guy speaking.
But this guy advises the White House.
That's fine.
And he's done past presidents. So
yeah, you're right. Okay.
Okay, I mean...
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So there is bias here. Unless it is field review, peer review study.
I get that. I know what you're talking about.
So it's whatever this guy's saying, this is what they came up with, but they were looking for this, which
Well,
does change data.
Okay, maybe, but maybe not, because this shit's happening. We just gave the example of Italy, dude, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So forget this guy. Look at Italy, dude, a real life scenario, dude. That shit in 2 weeks shut down the country. 2 weeks, dude.
I mean, Italy is a very small country.
But I'm just saying, dude, it happened.
Yeah.
You know, it happened.
No, I agree.
India shut down their country.
Everything that's going on in China is crazy right now.
India shut down their borders today.
Yeah.
So, dude,
that's another place. Think about how many people are in India.
Yeah, they're
if
the
it
most
spreads there, it's going to spread.
Country in the world.
When you get into these,
So anyway, let me just finish this part. So just so everybody, go listen to the podcast. Don't take my word for it. I get what you're saying, but so this guy says there could be 48 million hospitalizations. The problem with that is it overwhelms our healthcare system.
Yeah.
If everybody's in the hospital, so the nurses are getting sick.
Right.
Everybody's getting sick. The healthcare workers are out.
Schools are shut down at this point.
You can't just replace healthcare workers with somebody who doesn't know that. And then on top of that is there could possibly be up to 480,000 people that die. Which the death thing is elderly are the most at risk, stuff like that. So it's not, and that could be within 6 to 12 months. And if you think about, forget what this guy says, think about what the big companies have done. Google, every motherfucker's working from home. 100,000 employees. Amazon already did that shit. Twitter already did that
Amazon
shit.
Can't do that. Amazon's bringing shit to my doorstep right
Everybody
now.
that can work from home, that's what they told them, to work from home, if you can. Twitter already did the same thing too. So these companies know what's coming. And they're putting their people at home to prevent them from getting this shit so it doesn't fuck up their operations. So regardless of what we think, if you look at what's going on in the real world,
that's enough to swing me. That's enough to swing me.
They're preparing, dude. They're preparing for this shit.
But I mean,
they know.
But someone like Google, they're planning for inevitability.
Dude,
it may not be this one. You know what I mean? They're testing systems for.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, dude. This is a real life drill. Yeah.
Google's pretty much. What we
the
all rely on.
Internet.
Yeah,
if Google's people went down the motherfucking internet,
we're in trouble. How am I going to Google some silly ass recipe?
So these people are doing the opposite of what we're being told by our fucking government. They know this shit's coming because they're listening to experts, not that guy telling us some bullshit. So this guy was saying this is not a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
He's like, this is not a.
It's
seasonal
a virus.
film.
Viruses don't. That's not how.
He said some people are saying that it's gonna go away with the summer, and like that's not true. He said that's not true.
That's what the Cheeto in chief is saying. I mean,
yeah, he said that's not true. He said that's not true. He said SARS did not do that shit. One of the other ones did not do that shit. He said there's one called MERS that's in the Arabian Peninsula. It's 110 degrees there.
Right.
That shit's fucking. It's transmitted through camels.
Right.
So don't believe that shit either. He said that 0.1% of people from seasonal flu die.
Yeah.
He said this thing is possibly 2 to 3% are going to die. And then he also said washing your hands and stuff like that's good precautions. He said the best thing, though, is the isolation, the social distancing.
Staying home.
Dude, avoiding crowds.
I literally do the opposite of that for a living.
Avoiding crowds, right.
I gather crowds and feed them.
And if you see, so a lot of these things, if you look at what's happening in the real world, all these events are getting canceled. Companies are taking measures to stop this shit from coming to their employees. People that are looking at what scientists are saying, not what the government's saying. So that's all I'm going to say about the stats, stuff like that. Check out the podcast. But the parties and shit in Miami. So is next week Winter Music Conference or is it the week after?
It's next week.
Okay. So think about what's happening. So the rate of spread is exponential, right? By next week, there's going to be an exponential increase in cases. So if I was throwing a party in Miami, I would be going to the city and saying, is there a possibility you guys are going to ban these gatherings?
I do wonder. I know they're all gung ho on the internet, but I do wonder if it was. And like, what if we? I mean, it's too late now. But what if it was like a broadcast thing? No one had to go anywhere. Like we could set up a broadcast from our studio.
Yeah.
Other people could do the same thing.
Like they're doing with the basketball games and shit.
Yeah,
they're talking about they're going to be doing basketball games with no fucking
no
audience.
crowds. It
sounds
like they're just trying to shift the whole way we do things.
I mean. Right. If you want to go conspiracy theory.
It's not even conspiracy. Yeah. I mean, think about it. All the big companies who know what's up are doing it.
Yeah.
It's just, and for them, I don't think that they believe that this flu is going to be it. I think that they're just like, they really want to shift the way that we do stuff. They want to keep us home. You got Yeah,
that'd be a waste of money.
Yeah.
Telework is already big in tech companies, so they already have people doing that shit. Like, dude, Howard, you know, he does that shit. Like, I've worked from home for a little while, so that's not nothing new. But having every motherfucker that can work from home, that's new, you know? Right. So they know what's going on. So I would say don't take this lightly. You know, if you're going to Miami, you know, maybe you should reconsider just because of the, like, by next week, you know, if you think about it, every day cases are like doubling.
If you're listening, AudioBotz would certainly be down to broadcast from my house.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we can do a broadcast up here, man. Shit, I don't give a shit. But, you know, all the St. Patrick's Day events are getting canceled. In Ireland, they canceled every St. Patrick's Day event.
Wow.
So, dude, it's some real shit. So, do not listen to the guy who's telling us, you know, what'd you call him? Cheeto in Chief. Yeah, don't listen to that guy.
But
go get your information somewhere else. This guy on the Joe Rogan Experience, his name's Michael Osterholm. Check out his shit. It's an hour and a half. It's good stuff. So that's it, man. I mean, that's pretty much what I was gonna say. If you're throwing a party in Miami, I would go to the city and find out if they are talking about banning.
Well,
gatherings.
I mean, in Miami, you guys already know that. Miami told Ultra not to do it. So I mean,
but that's 50. You know, in some other places, they're banning gatherings of more than 250 people. In New York, I think it is. So fucking Lindsay went to New York for this for a conference for her new job, right? While she was there, they enacted that quarantine in that fucking city.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, holy shit, this is like it's really happening up there. So it's definitely spreading.
Once again, it's one of those places where there's such a concentration of human beings. Mm-hmm. They have to be a lot more careful.
Yeah, and the other thing is everybody got to remember all these fucking numbers they're throwing out, they don't have enough test kits.
Right.
So this is not accurate by any means as to how many people are actually infected. So, but that's pretty much it, man. They had Okeechobee. Joe Valdivieso went to Okeechobee last week at Music Fest. So
that was
those guys got off right by, dude. They got off by the skin of their teeth, dude.
Right, man.
No problem, because they barely missed that shit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Joe on. Joe's now gonna be our what do we call him? Our festival correspondent. So because that's really the only time I can get his ass.
That's funny. You know what you have to do is you'll have to get him to do some live video while he's there. And
Yeah,
keep him.
I told him to take some pictures and shit. And
when you start needing a producer, man, for the show,
yeah,
let me know.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I know. So we got to get
We'll
him
have Mike
on
Lewis
there.
teach us everything we need to know.
Yeah. It's tough, man. I told him take some pictures. I'm like, we can do a pre-made thing that I can broadcast live on here, but it's pre-made of like the pictures and shit that he took while he was there. But yeah, that they got by just in time, dude, because everybody else is gonna cancel their shit. All right, so we'll move on from that, man. So what's up with the album?
It's still working. We
have you guys worked on it at all?
Yeah,
okay.
We're constantly, like every week, we're at it. I mean, we're really close. We have a lot of finished material, and there's also a lot of things that are like they just need a couple tweaks in the master, and that's it. Like that are almost done. So we are almost there. It will be after the conference, of course, that we get it out. But yeah, we have a lot of material, so we're really close.
That's cool.
Awesome.
What's up, everybody in the chat? I know we haven't really been talking
everybody.
too much to you guys, but thanks for tuning in. We're just here talking shit. So you guys have you don't have a deadline or anything like that? Nothing? What about this year?
I hope that we have it done this year.
Okay. Me too, man.
Yeah, I hope that's done this
Definitely
year.
want to hear
Well,
it.
like I said, we're currently working on a couple things. That if we do put a mix out, digital mix this year, we're working on a couple things to fill that up with, and kind of focusing on what we're going to play and getting that stuff ready. But right after the conference, we're going to get right back to just getting everything finished.
So what are y'all doing for the conference? Are you going down there, and staying
I'm
down
not.
there?
I'm actually going to go down. I don't play until like 2 a.m., so we'll probably get down there around 11 o'clock, and I'll hang out and play.
Okay.
And then I'll probably go after my set. I'll say goodbye to everybody.
So that's Sunshine State of Base.
Yeah.
What day is that on?
That's on Saturday,
What day is that?
the 21st.
So 3/21. So yeah, if you guys are down
That
there.
Blackbird Ordinary.
Blackbird Ordinary. I don't know what that is.
It's on Second Street. It's actually pretty cool. It's like a kind of like an outside, like it's in between some buildings. It's like a little courtyard where they've kind of covered it with like this dome ceiling kind of thing. So it's kind of inside and outside.
Right.
It's
I've
really
been to
neat
one
space.
of those in like Ybor Cities.
It was really neat. It's a really neat space, and it sounds great. Like
Yeah.
when me and LT played there last year, it was just booming.
Dude, they have a good lineup on that thing.
Yeah.
They got Dynamix, they got DJ Immortal,
AudioBotz Sriracha. They got they got a bunch of cool people on there.
Yeah, that's cool. So check that out. I'm sure they got a fucking page for that and shit like that. Okay, so we went through that. Okay, so we got two major topics we were going to talk about. So one thing I wanted to talk about was just the structure of music versus like I guess it's about 20 years ago.
Yeah, say like 1990.
Or
like
late
96.
late. Well, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
like 96 to
through
like
early
2000.
Right, yeah. So let me see when this thing was fucking made. This says 2007 on the sticker. I don't know what year it was though. And then we're going to talk about the structure of music then. This is 2002. So we're going to talk about the structure of music during the Funky Breaks era.
And you wanted to use this as an example?
Yeah. Well, I was just using it as an example because of like all the stuff that's inside the song. So, yeah, no, it's a long song, dude. Don't even play it. Yeah, it's a long. Yeah. So it's got multiple breakdowns, multiple climaxes, multiple parts to the song.
Right.
Like, so I wanted to talk about that versus like how new music is, and the reason why this came up is because like the other night, so I got the turntables ready to go, all that shit. I've been playing the fuck out of them, right? Doing like 3 or 4 hour sets. I did a 3-hour set the other night up here on Saturday, and dude, I played all vinyl, no digital stuff, and I just was like, wow, man, just the structure of the music is a lot different. There's more in there than with the music I download digitally, as far as like substance and content.
Channels.
Yeah.
Number of channels.
I guess, okay, maybe that's what it is too. But I felt like there's just more music in there. And I guess even the length, just the length as well. Like
I know what you're saying, but it really depends on who you're listening to. Like a lot of people are still putting a lot of, like us, we put a lot of musicality.
Right. So, okay, so tell me this. This is what my primary thought about it was. Like, this song is a good example. So if you don't know, this is Chris Domingo, Cut It Up. It's the Johnny Cage remix, which is fucking badass. It's like 7 minutes, right? But it's not a progressive breaks track. It's just a regular fucking breaks track. I felt like there was, so in music now, I feel like there's an intro, right? There's the come up, the fucking drop,
the build up,
another one, and then it goes outro,
maybe a
right?
psych out, and then an outro.
Right. Okay, so that's agreeable, right? You
Yeah.
think that's accurate? These songs have more than that in them.
Well, that's because they were using hardware only, so they'd have to like set this one up. and then let that ride while they're getting the next one ready.
Okay.
And then it would make that machine do its thing, and then it would go to the next machine. So now it was 8 bars of this. Now it's 8 bars of both of them together. Now you're at 16 bars. Now he brings in this other machine. So now he's on his 6th machine, and he wants to transition. Now he's at almost 2.5 minutes.
So the intros are absolutely longer on older tracks.
Because they were building them from scratch.
That fucking makes perfect sense, because that was my main thing. I'm like, dude, because I'm like, on records, you can let them ride.
Yeah.
Dude, on digital tracks, like, they don't ride like that. Like, the intros and outros aren't long enough to ride halfway through a song.
And the style of DJing has changed.
Right. So we'll get into that in a second,
yeah.
but I just want to make sure that my thoughts were accurate. And you basically just put that. Now I have an understanding of why that is, dude.
And then, so they would do that, and then, so now to transition to the next place, he's got to jump to the first machine and take it away, and maybe take these out a little faster, but he has to do all that manually.
Okay.
And then go to the...
Okay.
And now he's got to go back to that first machine and get the new sound.
Okay.
It makes that sound.
Okay. And so then the other thing I noticed is that we talked about this before, the formula of current music is like cookie cutter. They're just they got the formula set. They're replacing.
There are a lot of artists that just use templates.
Right.
And sometimes they buy them from other artists, and they just inevitably end up sounding like that other artist.
Right.
I'm not going to drop any names, but
yeah, I know.
The people who know what the hell I'm talking about.
No, I know too. I know exactly what you're talking about. So, but these songs, dude, they don't have like it. Some of them do. Some of them have a similar structure, but a lot of them don't.
Because it was how they were feeling it too. Especially if it was a couple-man group or a 3-man person operation. Like it was how they were feeling.
Right.
When me and Brett first started, and we were on hardware, we would have those times where like this thing would run 3.5 minutes because that's how long it took us to run it and get back to the beginning or the next part or whatever.
Okay.
And then that's how.
Or they have intro, then they have the build up, the drop, all that shit, and then. Before they have another build-up, they have a completely different section of music in there. Like, that's what this record has.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them, though. No.
Yeah.
But some of them do. Like, there's something different in between the beginning and the end that's not there anymore on new music.
we did that. Like, we did that Pylo Ghetto Coders remix, and we did that. Like, we basically started out as just, really, straightforward, almost 4 on the floor kind of thing. And then with this weird electro thing, right? And, after the first blow-up, and then, so we did that.
Right.
When we were
What is that? Is that called something?
I don't know.
Okay, but it's outside of the standard formula. It's like you inserted
the idea was that we took this thing and then we got this whole other thing out of the same elements and then went right back to that funky thing.
So this song has that too. It's got some crazy drop. Like before dubstep and stuff were a thing. Like it's got this crazy
he might have just found a bunch of crazy sounds that he loved and that's how he did that thing and he was like, this is gonna be wow.
It's probably the fucking the middle section of the build up and after it breaks down and starts to build back up again, dude, it's probably half the song.
Yeah.
It's long. It's long. So and I was like, man, it's just the mixing, how you mix records and then the digital stuff is it's not the same. So let's talk about how the DJing thing is different.
Yeah, so now, you could, and it really is about the crowds too. Back then you could get away with it. It was all new. No one had heard anything like this. It was this new thing that was being created. So they wanted those extra blow-ups. They wanted it to last forever. They didn't ever want it. And that was the stuff that we grew up loving.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, now that's not exactly what people on the dance floor want. If you have one song that lasts 6 to 7 minutes, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose everybody.
Right.
So now we write songs so that there's a minute and a half where you're like, fuck yeah, and then we're out next.
Really?
Yeah, because that keeps the floor moving.
Right, yeah.
And then when you want to, because you do have to slow it down sometimes because you need to reset the floor at least once.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you just do it by playing an intro-y song,
right.
Let everything come down for a little bit.
Right.
People go to the bar, people come
right.
back from the bar,
Rotating
you swap the crowd out a little
yeah.
quick, boom.
Yeah.
You know? But that was stuff that we had to learn. And like I said, we were doing that far out, 7 miles of music,
right.
8.5 minute
right.
songs. It was not working. Even with our people because they were
right.
our friends, you know what I
right.
mean? Even with them, it was
the attention spans.
Yeah, and then for us, that's when we started going to every show. There was a couple of years when me and Brett were in Miami almost every fucking weekend. Period. We went to every show,
right?
And because we were watching, what are they doing? Why? You know what I mean? And that's kind of how we built the rest of our sound.
That's how top 40 DJs and open format DJs are now. Dude, they play a minute and a half, maybe
right.
2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah,
song,
so
and then they'll either scratch in a fucking new, which is terrible.
Which is lame, yeah.
I always resisted that.
You can do it if you do it one good time clean,
right?
Where everyone's like, "Oh, that was neat."
Right.
It's like the reverse throw.
Right.
Me and Brett, one of us is going to throw a reverse throw in probably almost every set.
Right.
But we're going to find that moment where it's just like,
right. And it goes good with where you're at in the set.
And, but you don't lean on that shit. Because I've done some, like, I did that wedding as well. And, like, I tried not to do any of that stuff. I tried to do some real mixing. And when I did, I got a response. People were like, oh, this guy's actually, like, doing some DJ stuff
Yeah,
over
some
there.
people can tell.
Yeah.
For sure. But that whole fading out real quick, switching tracks real quick, dude, I was never into it. Because I felt like you're not letting the music breathe enough. And, like...
And you're not giving composers their due or the artist or whoever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and but like I said, you're not gonna play a 6-minute song nowadays, not on its own.
Right.
Like for us, me and Brett might do that, but it's probably gonna be some like B-side electro track, and we're gonna have 2 other electro tracks on top of it.
Exactly. So that's what I would do too. Is like if I was gonna let something ride, I would have something else on top of it.
Yeah, like one thing is still fading out from, and one thing that we're bringing in. And the last time we played here, we were doing that. We ended up being like 4 deep at times, because we were playing those little electro tracks and just.
So when I was playing the records, man, I was just like, damn, you can just ride. You forget, dude. I just forget things.
I forget
I hadn't
too.
done them in so
until you get back
long,
on it. Yeah.
It's taken me.
Dude, I've only ever played like out somewhere. I've never had a pair of practice on. So anytime I've ever touched these, I was in front of people. You know what I mean? Like my whole life.
Dude, I think that, for probably most of the time I'm going to be streaming, I'll probably be streaming vinyl
Because even when I was working with Matt Newman, I didn't own a pair of turntables.
Right. This is conducive to the
I still
stream.
own a pair of turntables.
And these were sitting around for fucking 5 years.
I am going to buy one of these, though.
Oh, yeah, I got to show it to him when we're done. Dude, it's badass. Dude, the sound that comes out of it is fucking
incredible. You don't have to sell me. I'm going to buy one.
Yeah, good. It's tight. You'll
I'll have the money soon. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. You can get... Well, actually, good luck finding one. I think Guitar Center might have some, but Sweetwater and all those guys are
I know. I'm watching April's when they're expecting to get some more.
Yeah. I had to order this one from Amazon. I ordered it from Sweetwater. They're like, oh, we don't have any right now. I knew that on the website. And so I called him, like, what's the back order? He's like, you're 27th in line. This was November.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, cool. That's no problem. Whatever. I'll wait. I didn't really want it till January.
I guess they wanted to see if it was going to sell.
No, they were selling out of them. They would only get small batches and they would sell out of them. So I called the guy late December and I was like, what's up? He's like, you moved up 6 spots in almost a month. And I'm like, all right, man. So he's like, the tentative date for you to get it now is like February. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm not waiting long because I had redone all this shit.
Right.
Like I got the tables back. Like I was ready to go. I went on Amazon. Sam Ash in Tampa had fucking 1. And so I bought it through them and had it delivered.
Awesome.
Dude, the box is under here. Look how big the fucking box is right there. Dude, the fucking box is like the size of this table that we're sitting at right now. It's fucking huge.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, Sweetwater, they still don't have any in stock. I've been watching it just to check and see if they ever got them. But no, it's nice, man. Everybody likes it. It's very similar.
Well, dude, I'm happy that it's record box ready. It's got the normal controllers that most of these DJs have, that these controllers have, and it's got all of the Pioneer effects.
Dude,
this is why I want it.
Yeah. It looks almost.
And so for the first time ever, I'm going to have this at my house to practice.
Right.
I've never I have some controllers, but I don't really practice on
them.
them.
These are the same platters as the CDJ 2000.
I know.
Yeah.
They look exactly.
It looks very similar.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So it weighs 27 or 32 pounds. It's 37 inches long, dude. It's got handles cut into the side so you can pick it up. It's fucking heavy, dude. It's not portable. Like you're not going to take it.
Yeah, that's what Earnhardt was telling me when I bumped into him.
It's not portable. But yeah, I highly recommend it. If anybody, they just got the Serato release done yesterday, so now it supports Serato. They were supposed to have it in January, but it never got done. So anyway, the vinyl thing, man. Like I was just like, dude, I'm trying to mix vinyl like I was mixing on this thing, and I'm like, it's not working. Like it's not fucking working.
Well, the other thing is you like even when you're in, there's always work on vinyl, man. Like there always is.
Yes.
Like, you always, and that's it's why I always find it so funny that. All those the anti-technology people are like, oh, I'm vinyl. Like you have to work, even when you're the best in the world and do it all the time. You still have to work, keep in time.
Oh hell yeah, dude! No, there's no setting that shit
and it's like so.
Forgetting it.
Is that skill really so important? Is that the most important skill? Keeping 2 records in time.
You know what? It's definitely not the most important skill, but I will tell you, I get more enjoyment out of that.
See, I don't. I get more enjoyment out of digital because I have access to all the effects.
Right. Yeah.
I get to really personalize what I'm doing. So now I'm not just mixing records. I'm making new shit happen.
Right. See, that's not how I DJ. I've never been that kind of DJ.
Like me. Well, you know, I've always been that way. Like me, I want to make something else. I want this to be my instrument.
I enjoy the labor of vinyl.
See, that's funny because I'm exactly like I want to do. Like I already got the steak. I just want to sizzle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like I enjoy.
I enjoy it. I enjoy playing vinyl. Like and I enjoy listening to those old called songs.
Yeah.
But like to be like, oh, I'm only playing vinyl.
Yeah, no, it's not like that.
You can't play any AudioBotz. People are only vinyl. You can't play any. There's none.
True. So don't forget, we got to get into
that.
that.
That was kind of segueing.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about this for a minute more. So the labor, dude, is like. It's
labor of love.
The craft, you know. Yeah. It's the craft.
It's like cleaning greens, collard greens, man.
Right.
You do it because you love it.
Exactly, dude.
Sucks,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's like, dude, it's like,
I'm gonna eat these greens. I'm gonna feed my people. It's gonna be delicious.
And the other thing it does is like, see, since I don't do the kind of like creating new stuff while I'm mixing digital, like I get bored when I'm mixing digital.
Right.
Because, dude, all you got to do is set the fucking pitch.
But there's all that other stuff to do.
But I haven't got to it yet. I've got to some of the effects. I haven't got to doing all this kind of stuff
like
yet.
the beat loops and the slip loops?
I got the beat loops.
And
I got to the beat
know that, I don't know if it has it. The one that Brett has a little thing where you can change the parameter so that you can get to like 1/28 and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's what these do. So if you hit beat loop, all these are different beat loops. Like this is 32, 16, 8, 4, and it goes down to like half or something.
I got you. Yeah, well, on his there was another little button where you could keep going, like you go further.
Like you could, you might be able to. Dude, there's so much shit on this that like I try to learn one thing every time I use it. Because dude, all of the effects, like the crossfader and all that shit, are digital. They're inside the menu. There's no switches to change the crossfader settings. You got to go into the menu. So not only, see right here.
Yeah.
There's no. Not these right here. Not the assignments.
You're talking,
yeah, that'd be right there. So
like all, your triangle.
Yeah, exactly. How they cross and things like that. All that shit's digital, dude. So there's not only the menu for the songs, the browser stuff like that. There's a menu that's this deep for the controller.
Awesome! I can't wait.
You can change all the lighting. You can change the display on the platters. You can change the brightness.
Like, hey Pat, did you know it could do this?
Yeah, and I'll be like, no, I don't know that much about it, dude. I don't know that much about it.
Like, dude, I'm just gonna do the same thing I did with Ableton. I'm gonna watch YouTube videos and fucking figure this thing out.
It does a lot of shit, man. But dude, wait till you hear the sound that comes out of it, man. The fucking sound is amazing. Like it sounds incredible. Like I was blown away by that. Even dude, and with these turntables, so the guy he did an internal ground. Replace the RCAs.
Nice.
And they sound fucking incredible. And these needles are good too. I got new Ortofon needles. Nice. Sounds amazing, dude. So you'll definitely enjoy it. But yeah, good luck getting one. But anytime you want to come up here and play on it, man, let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, I was just saying. So the vinyl thing, dude. Like I like streaming on vinyl on the stream because I have to put work in,
right.
and I'm not focusing on like what's going on this controller. I'm focusing on what's going on with the record and listening and all that shit. And I like the reconnection that's happened with listening to the two sounds at the same time.
And there's also something about like feeling that kick drum with your fingers as well. Like you don't just hear it, you feel it. You feel when it vibrates. I like vinyl, like it's definitely always enjoyable. But it's funny because every time for me it's the opposite. I'm like, man, this is so much fucking work.
It is.
Like,
dude.
I can't do any of the stuff
I
want to do.
love it though, man. I love it.
I'm over here doing this. And like,
I didn't
doing
realize
a little bit of crossfader stuff. I'm like, man, I can't do shit.
I just want right. See, that's the impatience that I get from the digital. I'm like, I need to be doing something.
You need to dive into that stuff.
No, I am. I'm slowly working on it.
And, figure that shit out.
I mean, I've always used loops. I always blend two.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I've never really tapped into too, which I know would be great. One of the things I want to work on when I do get this thing is writing a bunch of like just beats, like a kick drum and snare, and then separate hi-hats and stuff, and have all these elements. And now I can loop a song, and it could be a top 40 thing I downloaded right now, and I can make an instant remix.
So I do that. I do that for sure. So if I have a good beat, then I'll fucking use that beat on the song that's
right. Like keep the loop. And for me, I would loop the content that I want. And then have my own little pieces to be like.
Yeah, I did that even when I had the Denon controller. That's something I always just did because sometimes, dude, I don't like the beat. That's fucking.
Right.
That's
is that the point? Yeah. So that's when you kill the bass and bring this in. Like,
that's
this matches much better.
Yeah, or when their bass drops out, you bring in the fucking.
Okay, so that is part of what's lost on 3.5 minute tracks, is you don't get those options. You're out.
Right.
Next.
So that's what I was saying. So I would say, and this is just I'm guessing. Dude, probably a lot of these records are at least 5-minute tracks.
Yeah,
at least.
This one was 6:50.
Okay, so that's kind of a little bit more of a long one. But all these other ones that I have, even like the old fix tracks and shit like that, dude, they're probably at least 5 minutes. And yeah, the new ones are like 3.
Well, dude. I'm a Jazz 22 fan, and 7 Miles of Music and all them dudes. Those are 8-minute tracks. You know what I mean? And that was like 7 Miles of Music. It was 8 dudes on stage making magic happen.
Right.
And those guys are all friends of ours too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But the one cool thing about what we talked about last time, the people I've met, like I've met like everyone that I was like, man, this is really cool shit.
Yeah, I remember
all the people that inspired me to like do this.
Were you at Future Sound of Breaks when 7 Miles of Music played like 4 in the morning?
I missed that. Okay. Brett was there. Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, he's in Neurosis in G Montana, right? What's his name?
Yeah, Alex.
Music? Yeah, is he one of them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Somebody told me that. I forget who it was.
Yeah, he's Neurosis.
I didn't know that. He is Neurosis. Okay. All right, cool.
He's a really great guy. And but dude, he's got in his studio, like he actually invites me all the time, and I never make it. Unfortunately, I should do that. But he's got just a wall of synthesizers, dude.
Really?
Yeah, he's like me. He's a synth guy. He's a piano player, and
cool.
And I know if he and I got in the studio together, some weird shit would happen.
Weird
weird shit that people would like.
He gave
because that's that guy. Like, I already know I was going to go. I'm going to go down there and be like, are they all live? Like, which one can I have at? You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
He
signed
write
a
something
CD
and be like, you get over here and start writing something, man. Let's get here.
So
like,
what happened to them? Are they're not together anymore?
Yeah,
right?
they kind of split. I mean, they're all still friends. You know what I mean? They don't really do 7 miles of music. A lot of them DJ on their own. A lot of them have their own projects and stuff.
Okay.
But they're still out there.
Yeah. I got Joe Valavicio's record collection. So, dude, the guy Joel that fixed my turntable, so he's got like 12,000 records. I went into his house to pick these up, and he's got, dude, it's literally like this whole wall right here. He's got fucking records, and it's crazy. So, talking to him and like just seeing the stuff that he had, he like kind of changed my mind about like records. Like as far as like I should have started collecting records.
Oh yeah, it's cool. I wish
ago,
Brett's got an awesome collection. I wish I had one. You know, I have my bag of probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got 2 bags. That's it.
Yeah,
there's some bangers
I have
in
like
there,
60 records probably, and they are all really good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we go to Brett and like sometimes you pull shit out like, damn, you have that, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
so that was the other reason why I was up here doing that, because I got Joe's collection.
Yeah, I don't think that we should lose the art form. You know,
no,
ever.
dude, no.
But just the snobbery, like.
Yeah.
It's like, learn digital. Why not have some fun? I can carry something the size of this, smaller than this. Yeah. I can carry my entire catalog.
But dude,
I can carry the entire catalog of music on Earth.
Right. But there's something about that
I know, there is.
That's not in this.
No, there's not.
And Joel,
but still, beat matching the most important thing.
No. I'm not talking. Not talking about the beat matching part of it. I'm talking about like the substance of the music.
Yeah.
Like, and so what Joel?
Someone took the time to stamp this shit out, man.
And
there's a permanence to it.
Fucking get the record or a record label art done. You know, like all that.
So the difference is like there's still permanence to this. Like this will never go away. So long as a little inkling of Google and the rest of the internet.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's same.
But there was
stuff,
it's just.
But I know what you mean. Yeah.
There's more labor.
And it was a lot easier. Well, it was a lot easier to put things on vinyl back then. No one's doing it anymore. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And the vinyl, they all, if you love your record and play the shit out of it, eventually you're not gonna be able to play it anymore.
Right. So I was going through Joe's records, and so I had Joe's record collection one time before at my house, and then he wanted it back, and then I went and got it back from him. Like, why don't you just let me keep my records, dude? So because he doesn't play them. So I started cataloging his shit. Cause after seeing Joel's shit, and so I've gone through like 100. He's probably got like 600 records. So I've gone through about a little bit over 100. So you know who Bahamut is, right?
I don't think
Final
so.
Bump, Bahamut. Do you know Merlin Spellbound CD?
Yeah.
You know that song, Welcome to Planet E?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Bahamut, right?
Okay.
So there's a Bahamut record that he has. It's called, it's either Electronique or Electronic or something like that. Dude, it's on sale for $125, dude. That was the most expensive one. Rick West Inside Your Soul, $50. Waveform Deep Dubs.
I bought Mind Unit for $40 probably 15 years ago.
Wow. Mind Unit. Which one's that?
That's it's the one on the Product of Our Environment CD that what the fuck, how does it go?
Oh, it's on Infinity CD?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But yeah, that was one that I had to find.
So I'm going through and I'm cataloging, and most of them ain't worth shit. A lot of them aren't worth anything, but dude, he's got some fucking bangers in there, like straight up. So I'm gonna catalog all this shit. I'm gonna build myself a fake record collection. Like I already talked to Lindsay, we're gonna buy like a fucking shelf for it and shit. I'm gonna have me a fake record collection for a little while, and just kind of like rotate them in and out of here on this, because dude, a lot of those songs I haven't heard.
And another good thing for you to do is record them. Record each one individually, put them down, and then you have them digitally as well. So.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then now you get to take this and bring it into that world, which we've done a lot. What me and Brett often will do is we'll lay one down, and then we'll just improve the beat and remaster it. Like we won't change the rhythms or anything.
Right.
We'll just add a little hump to it and clean it up and master it. And now it's like we can play it next to a modern song. We're playing that genre that you remember.
So we'll segue into that, dude. So Chris and I we got an announcement. So we always talked we were going to make a track, and we tried to get with each other. Shit happened, fucking life happened.
For ages.
Hasn't happened. So what we're going to do, though, is, and this idea sprung from this shit that I've been doing up here with the records. So what we're going to do is, and it's not going to be broadcast live, but we're going to make 2 tracks. One's going to be an original. one's going to be a remix, and then we're going to document the journey of making these tracks all the way to getting a record pressed. So I looked into getting a record pressed. You can do 100 units for like $1,200 or something like that. And depending on, I mean, I don't know when that article was written. We'll see.
Right.
So look for that on the YouTube channel, and basically we're going to start on Monday.
Okay.
So we'll start Monday. I'm going to go to his house. We have no idea how long this shit's going to take.
No,
I have no fucking idea. I've never made a track before. I have no idea how this is going to go.
Well, I mean, you're going to have a quick heads up on that. And we actually recently have built a little template for ourselves. There's no structure or anything. It's just like we have those pop kicks and medium kicks and thud kicks and boom kicks.
Right.
So there's like like a channel for each.
Okay.
And there's like a dozen of each instrument in a
Oh,
little
okay,
channel.
gotcha,
So
okay.
now we just, instead of looking for a song for a beat to write a beat
Right.
for drum, they're all just there.
Okay. No,
So,
that's smart.
yeah, we'll start
That's
with that.
efficiency.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it'll go a lot quicker than you think.
Okay.
I'll show you the keys that we're in. I'll show you like what you can play and let you have at it.
Yeah.
You'll write some melodies. I'll write some melodies. And,
Yeah, no, it'll be awesome, dude. I'm looking forward to it. So that is going to be, so we'll be recording it, and then I'll be editing it. Maybe that could be where you get started on editing.
Right.
Yeah, and then we'll upload it to the YouTube channel and just kind of see what happens, because I don't know shit about making a song, and we don't know shit about getting records pressed.
No.
So it's going to be a good journey.
Education for me and education for you.
For real. So,
and that might be an opportunity for us, because we know we have bought songs that we'd like to have on vinyl.
Right,
so maybe that's a place where we can
dude, like when Joel came here, everything he played was on vinyl, and some of it was brand new. Like some of the shit. So people are still making records.
Yeah.
Like, some of the drum and bass guys are making records. I know Exact is going to put his thing out on a record.
He's been doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the new stuff, even the Intel Electro shit he was doing, there's a lot of it already on vinyl.
Yeah.
But he's got that access. He knows those people. Like those
Right.
people
So
press his vinyl races,
maybe we hit him up and find out
Yeah.
who we should be getting that done through.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
So that'll be interesting. So we're going to start that on Monday. So
Yeah,
look out
Josh
for
will be
that.
awesome.
Yeah, what's up, Josh?
Hello, everybody else, too.
Yeah, Josh was at Okeechobee on Sunday, too.
What's
so
up,
yeah, what's up,
Contagious?
everybody else that's in the...
Jackie, Michael,
yeah,
Dennis.
I went to school, dude.
Raul,
Michael, Dennis.
Jared, whoever
I
was
went to
in
school with them. Raul, he's my friend. I work for him. So, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. So we got another thing that we're going to talk about too, and Chris is going to take the lead on this. Something interesting in the music.
Yeah, and I don't have
community.
as many notes as you. I apologize.
all good.
But you can look it up. I Google search it pretty easily. So basically, these two guys wrote an algorithm to have an AI record every possible melody that could exist on Earth. And then they copyrighted it all and released it as public domain. And so there's been no precedence on this. No one's tried to use it in court. But the idea is that a mathematical equation cannot be copyrighted, and that because this is algorithm-driven melody, that no melody can technically be copyrighted anymore, because they already copyrighted all of them.
So basically, music is math, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
There's numbers assigned to all the notes
Yeah.
and shit. So
And I always say that music is the calculus of emotions, because it is. Those intervals can make you feel a way.
Right.
Like that E minor 7 is creepy as shit.
Right.
It makes you be all goosebumpy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
it
it's-
has a fucking
right,
so
it's the
something.
calculus
Yeah.
of emotions. It's how the waves interact to make you feel
Yeah.
a way.
So what was this called again? Let me. I guess I could. I got it right here.
Yeah, I can actually pull up on your text.
Because want to tell you guys what it's called. Because if you're into music, it's actually pretty interesting. It's called "Musicians Algorithmically Generate Every Possible Melody, Released in the Public Domain." It's a slashdot.org article. So basically, what you've probably heard about lawsuits and shit like that. Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
was
the best example for
Yeah.
where this would work would be in that case when David Bowie and Queen did Under Pressure. And they said that melody was theirs. And he lost the rights. Suge Knight, it was ugly. Anyway.
Well, he only changed it by like 2 notes or something like
Right.
that.
So, but this would technically alleviate that.
Right.
If courts can accept this, then it's easy to say, well, I didn't hear that melody there. I listened to all these melodies that these guys put out, and I picked it from that.
Do you think that it's only going to work for songs that are created from now forward?
Yes.
Okay, so it wouldn't work for stuff that's been done in the past.
And,
Because those
well, it
melodies were
depends
already
on how
created
it becomes
prior.
a precedent. If it really does change the law, if it changes everything about the court precedents, then yeah, you may not be able to argue that. I guess you're right, because technically they didn't do this until then, so that the creative property wouldn't have existed.
Right.
So going forward,
Yeah,
but still,
so
I'm
going
all for it. Like I was telling you, we wrote that song a long time ago called Sample Junkies, and we basically took a bunch of clips from a documentary that was like pro sampling, and we made our own track out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for us, it's like we've always been like, fuck you guys and your copyright.
Right.
Aren't we really all doing this for the fans anyway?
Right.
Like, isn't this for the fans?
Yeah.
Then what, is it really yours?
And dude, everybody samples in some
Yeah,
way, man.
yeah.
Like,
The difference is nowadays you're supposed to get permission, and but that often involves money.
Right.
Well, I don't fucking make money at
Yeah.
this. There's no money
So
in
this-
AudioBotz.
No, right.
So I'm supposed to
Right.
pay you for
Right.
me not to make any money? Fuck you.
Right. So this thing, basically, any melody that's possible, and you said in Western music.
Yeah, it's based on the 12 chromatic scales.
Okay.
There's no chord
So
tones.
this thing, this algorithm has generated every melody that's possible to be made, and now because they released it into the public domain, regardless of if somebody's already made it or never heard it,
Right. Or whether you were inspired by someone
Right.
else's melody, none of it
it's
matters.
contained in this algorithm
Right.
that's been released. So now, but they'd have to test it in court, like you're saying. You never
There
know.
has to be a precedent.
Right.
So
Somebody's gotta go to
somebody
battle.
who gets sued for melody has to try. They have to be
Yeah.
like, hey, there's this thing. Fuck you. I got my melody
So
from that.
when I was reading that article, I don't know if it was in the article. They talked about the Tom Petty and oh fuck, what was that guy's name? There's a Tom Petty sued. Hold on,
I have it
fuck.
here too.
I forget that Sam Smith. So Sam Smith, Stay With Me.
Oh, right,
sounded
right.
Too close to Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down. So what happened is Sam Smith eventually had to give Petty co-writing credits on his own chart-topping song, which entitled Petty to royalties.
Yeah.
So Sam Smith wrote this song. Tom Petty sued the fuck out of him, and now
got
he's
part of his
paying.
money,
Now he's
right.
paying Tom Petty for a song that he wrote, which I don't know. I don't know if it sounded like that song or not. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But this would prevent that from happening because for anything that's written from now until
But I mean,
the
so
future.
think about what we write, right? Because a lot of it is like counter melodies and melodies and melodies and melodies. You can't tell me that some of these notes haven't been in other songs.
Oh, for sure, dude. That's
And
what
that's
I'm
the other
saying.
side of
Everybody
the other thing that's
sampling
ridiculous
some
is that
shit.
well, and at this point, is it really possible to write a lick of notes that's truly original? Is there any way, with the number of people who do exist and have existed since music began,
Right.
is there any way that
Right.
every melody has not
It's
been
just
put down somewhere?
It's just who's looking for that shit. Like
Right.
that's,
Well,
somebody who owns Tom Petty's music
the
is
real
looking.
the real unfortunate thing with the copyright thing now is these lawyers will wait till their artist copyright runs out and they'll go snatch it up and go after everybody that remixed it.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucked up. That's
Yeah.
not just because you bought it. That's not really intellectual property anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's property.
So
You didn't fucking write that.
When you guys made that Crystal Method remix, so that's not Crystal Method that owns that music, right?
No,
Right.
Crystal Method does own that.
Oh, they do
Their
own it,
people
okay.
approached us.
Oh,
so we
okay.
did a bootleg, total bootleg,
Right.
and they liked it.
Okay.
So they released it. They
See-
did a huge remix release.
Okay.
And they chose our song.
Okay.
Remastered
See, I
it.
thought Brett said that it was the guys who own the music, and I thought he was talking about somebody else who wasn't.
No,
Crystal
no.
Method. Okay.
Well, it was their manager. Like it
Okay.
literally was. Like like I don't remember her name, but it literally said so and so, director of operations, their music. Like it was their person. So
okay.
it wasn't them. But their top guy was like, "Hey, we really like that.
Okay.
Can we release
But
it?"
it was somebody in the Crystal Method
Yeah,
camp.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't like some motherfucker who just bought the
No,
rights
no,
to
it
the
wasn't
music.
like Universal
Okay.
Music where an
Right,
AI
okay.
shut us down. Was like, "Fuck you guys, you can't
Right.
do
Okay,
this."
I got you. That's cool, man. I didn't know that story till you guys had talked about.
That's
That's
awesome.
fucking
Yeah,
awesome,
that
dude.
for us, that
Yeah.
was like you know, like when
Yeah.
it happened, we got this email. I'm like, "Hey, Brad, I got this random email, dude. Fucking blah blah blah." Or he might have gotten it first. I don't even remember. Or it was a SoundCloud message. It was a SoundCloud message.
Okay.
And we were like, "Is this fucking for real?" Like,
Yeah.
like
That's cool
really?
shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Which
Yeah.
to us, it's like I don't know for sure, but I'm sure that those guys heard it. We're like, "Oh, that's fucking dope. Yeah, use that one."
Are they still
And,
making music?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how much more, but I know they still do. They have tours in Vegas and shit. I mean, they play.
Okay. When I was looking through Joe's record, he's got community service and
Yeah.
some other one in there.
But yeah, it was really awesome to be like, oh, these guys like this enough to. And the only thing they gave us a contract as well for a no compete. We couldn't use it. Blah 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 blah. And I actually made sure that I had a lawyer look over, a good friend of me and Amanda's look over it. And the only thing I asked is that they give us. We still had rights to perform it without any problem with it. They were fine with that. Yeah, radio shows
Okay.
or whatever. Any place else we wanted to record it.
Okay.
So long as we weren't selling it, we were allowed to do that.
Okay,
So that was the only
that's
clause
cool
that I made
shit.
sure that we kept that part of our
Okay.
ownership.
That's cool.
But still, how cool.
No, that's fucking awesome, man. Like that. And then
For
when
us,
you
it was
guys
like that was
brought
one of
it-
those
yeah.
like, wow,
Yeah,
did
dude.
this really just
Yeah.
happen? Like,
So are you guys playing live in Miami?
we're not.
Okay. Are you guys
We're
playing
not.
live at the Singapore Piers?
Negative.
Okay. So are you guys done playing live?
No, we're not. The problem is it's
A pain in the fucking dick?
it takes 3 months, man. It goes to like a month of rehearsals every week, and then 2 rehearsals every week, and then 3 rehearsals, and then a rehearsal every fucking
It's like
day.
being in band.
Yeah.
It's like being in band leading up to the fucking
And the thing is, we never
show.
like doubled down. We never did the same show twice. So we literally, every time we do a live show, we start from scratch. We make it fresh for that area. You know what I mean? And every one we've done has been completely original, different. So it takes time. We have to build it out. We have to re-render our songs without the stuff that we're going to play live. We have to write down all our notes to make sure we're changing instruments properly and all that stuff. We got to change all our instruments, change all the notes. There's a shitload of practice.
Yeah,
There's a shitload of practice. Shitload of practice.
Yeah, yeah, you got to because you got to play the whole set.
Yeah. Over and over and over. We can't miss notes.
Like
we can't miss
band,
cues.
dude.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's just like
practice,
being in band.
dude.
Yeah.
It sounds like band practice. Wow. Well, that makes sense.
So no one wants to pay.
Oh,
We don't even want that much. We want $1,000. That's all we want. $1,000 will come play live. It's worth it.
Wow.
Nobody wants to pay.
That is worth it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's totally worth it. And
Wow.
no one will bite the bullet.
Wow. I didn't. That's cheap.
Yeah, I think so too.
Dude, I'm sure Spaceman is fucking
Way
like
more than that.
3 or 4 times.
I don't know. I'm not going to assume.
Right.
Those guys are awesome. They put on a great show.
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucking amazing.
But yeah,
they're,
no, we're
they're at Galaxy Music Gathering. Now.
Yeah, we're not. Oddly enough, Shay didn't hit us up for that. This will be the first one we've sat out in a long, long time. So.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah,
Shane, what's up, man? Come on, dude. If you're
all
seeing
good.
this, dude, book them. Well, so all right. So you're just playing sets and shit. So this thing that's over here, man, in Fort Pierce, like, what is it? Or do you not really know?
I do know that it's a music festival. I don't have as much information as I should right now.
How did you guys get?
Because Jeremy Jenkins is Brett's brother-in-law, and he's involved. Like, he's part of the management team or whatever.
I saw him.
So I know that there's going to be like bands and stuff kind of on the outside tick.
Right, and that's why I was like, what?
Well, so I think we're going to be like in a room kind of just doing electronic music.
Rave cave?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And as far as I know, it might just be us that are there, so we might just be dropping music all day, which is fine. I mean, we could play top 40 and shit too. We have all that music.
Where is it?
I think it's behind Public House.
Okay. All right. I'll have to look it up. I'll put it on the Mixed Days page so we can see what.
Well, I'll just go with
what's going on
Jeremy's
with that.
Facebook.
Because I looked at it briefly, and I was like, I know Heather. You know Heather, the girl that's doing the Lindsay School of the Arts thing? I think they have something to do with that. But they're refurbishing that old San Anastasia school on Orange.
Oh,
Avenue.
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Okay, so yeah, it's Varsity Sports Shop, Fight for the Arts.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's an advertisement for that thing.
Does it say anything about...
I'm working on it.
Okay, it's all good. So anyway, it's in downtown Fort Pierce. It's some
Downtown Fort Pierce.
art school thing.
I don't know why there isn't an event page.
No, there is. I saw it. I'll look it up real quick. There is. Because that's how because Brett invited me to it. It's called Fight for the Arts.
Oh, here we go. So it's 208 Avenue A, Fort Pierce, Saturday, March 28th at 12 p.m. till Sunday, 2 a.m. It says outdoors, live music, art vendors, open bar, food trucks, fire performers, good vibes, craft beer.
Yeah, Lindsay School of the Arts. That's what it is. Dude, the girl who helps with that, Heather, she's really cool.
We're actually listed as one of the artists, so yeah, we'll be there.
So yeah, check that out. I'll put it on the Mixed Days page as an event.
It's a optional donation of any amount to proceed. All proceeds go to Fight for the Arts. So yeah, you pay what you want and come have some fun.
So I wonder if that is Public House.
Taco Trap and Fat's Chicken Shack will also be there for dinner.
Fucking Taco Trap.
And
You ever seen their
there's
logo?
a $30 open bar.
You ever seen Taco Trap's logo?
I don't think so.
It's a fucking taco, and then it has one of those boxes with the stick that you pull the stick out. And it
Like it's a
closes.
trap.
Yeah,
That's
dude, it's a
awesome.
trap,
That's
dude. It's
awesome.
fucking black van with that fucking logo on it. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. We've been going for over an hour. So yeah, check you guys out. Sunshine State of Base, March 21st. Watch out for that coronavirus bullshit.
COVID-19, man. I'll
Yeah,
get you.
check it out. Check out Michael Osterholm on the Joe Rogan Experience if you want to find out more about that shit. He puts some really good information out there about it. Don't listen to the guy on the TV who's telling you about this shit, because it's definitely not fucking right, okay? Regardless of what you think of him or whatever, it's not right. He's not giving us the right
It's fake
information.
news. It's fake news.
It is. It's seriously. It's fucking fake news. He's the fake news guy.
I know.
So
That wasn't a thing until he became dictator.
it used to be called propaganda and
Yeah.
disinformation. That's
Yeah.
what it used to be called. Not fucking.
Yeah, but what he calls propaganda and fake news is the real news.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean that was the guy who said the Obama birth.
We got to wrap up.
I know. Yeah. No politics shit. So anyway, next week I got Al Beltran, and then in April we got Slam and Sean coming on, which is gonna be fucking awesome. I'm in the works of booking.
That's cool. Yeah.
And shit, dude. So Slam and
And
Sean.
vote blue no matter who.
Yeah. The what?
Vote blue no matter who.
All right, Chris is just gonna get up and end the show. All good. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Thanks.